Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. To God be the glory, to God be the glory, to God be the glory. Good afternoon. Listen, if you are tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know you heard me the first time. Listen, you are listening to your girl, Jaja, and y'all already know, before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, guys, we're talking today about how bad do you love them? How bad do you love them? If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. As I say each and every week, thank God we ain't in nobody's jail. We have the activities of our limbs. And we ain't in nobody's hospital. Now, if you are in somebody's hospital, we are praying for a speedy recovery. I'm praying for my grandma Liz, that you would go and you cover my grandmother at Providence Hospital and go and cover all of our families wherever they may be. If you are tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And we're talking all about how bad do you love them? How bad do you love them? And oftentimes, we are in a whirlwind of understanding our families. And right now we're in a situation where we have to learn to deal with one another in a space that is conducive to our homes. Some of our homes are big enough where everybody can go and be in their own space. Some of our homes aren't as big, and we have to be confined, which could ultimately bring on challenges. But I wanted to talk about how bad do you love them? How bad do you love them? I, as a mother raising a young black man, we have often come to some crossroads that I have needed assistance with, because like any parent, you always want the best for your child or your children. At least a good parent does. A good parent always wants the best for their children. Even if that means sacrificing things as a parent for yourself, you're willing to put yourself out there for the people that you love. We oftentimes do things because we love people and the people in our life, so we concede to certain behaviors because we love them. Right now, we are in a situation where we don't have a choice but to spend the time either with ourselves or with our families. There was a large group yesterday that protested in front of Lansing. So small-minded, they're not even understanding that they have the potential to hurt their own families because of the malice and the hate in their hearts. But see, those white folks ain't the only people who got hate in their heart. See, a lot of us that look like me and you, we have a lot of hate in our heart too. I know, I was one of them. We have a lot of hate in our hearts because of the issues that we faced as a community, as a black woman, as a black man, as a father, as a mother, as an entrepreneur, as an employer, as an employee. There has been so many economic disparities that our culture has had to face, which caused us to hate each other. It's caused us to have the light skin, dark skin syndrome. It's caused us to have the she thinks she better than somebody, he think he better than somebody syndrome. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm your host, Jaja Hubbard, and we're talking about how bad do you love them? See, I love my son so much that I didn't mind putting out that post last night, because I know that my father went to prison, my brothers went to prison, my uncles went to prison, and when you are the one in your family that is and I'm not saying this to say none of my other brothers and sisters aren't chosen, but what I'm saying is that when you become aware of your God-given assignment, the enemy is going to use whatever's closest to you to forfeit your assignment. See, people out in the world talking about me, it doesn't matter. I know who I am, and that's the problem. A lot of people don't know who they are, and so because of my confidence and because of my stance on myself, it's hard to shake me. I can see right through a person. But see, the enemy knows what's closest to your heart, and my son is close to my heart. I love my son. My son and I have went through so much, just us. It has literally taken a village to raise my son because other members of the family structure did not fulfill their duties and obligations. And if you're tuning in, we're talking about how bad do you love them? See, right now, my grandmother is sitting in a hospital, like most of our family members that are sitting in hospitals right now, and we can't even get to our own families. But see, now it poses the question, how bad did you love your family before you weren't able to be in contact with them? Because if we really tell the truth about it, did we really show the love that we should have been showing our family members before we couldn't be with them? See, it's this virus not only is showing us who our government is, but it's showing us who we are as people. My grandmother probably would be alive, full of life, full of joy and well-being and healthy if our family decided to come together, like I said from the beginning, and somebody has to lead the family. But see, we so caught up in pride and arrogance that we don't want to listen to nobody. Who she thinks she is, who he think he is. I unfortunately had to become the matriarch and the patriarch of my family unwillingly because my parents were deceased. I didn't sign up and say I want to be in charge. This was the charge that I was given. And so I stepped up to the plate with my bat in my hand, ready to swing my family out to a home run and carry them on my back. And while the men in my family wanted to go off and do what they wanted to do, I had to be the mama and the daddy to my brothers and sisters when I had uncles like I got right now. Now, one of my uncles, he has been contacting us. He's in a whole nother state. My brother, he's in prison. His phone calls are limited to 15 minutes. So he tries to have conversations with my son all the time. He writes my son letters all the time. See, now fathers can't even be fathers, but were you fathers before COVID-19? Some of y'all complaining about how you couldn't be with your grandma, auntie, and them, God, my cousin, my sister, but were you being a sister to your sister? Were you being a brother to your siblings? Were you being a mother to your children? Were you being a father to your kids before this? And if you're tuning in, we're talking about how bad do you love them? Because see, if the truth be told, we're all struggling. Nobody's better than nobody. Everybody just knows how to cope with their struggles differently. A lot of people know how to mask their struggles. And see, the thing and the power of social media is you can paint a beautiful picture of a person and not even know what's going on in their household. That's how it'll look like there's a come up for people because of what they show you on social media. And then it'll make you feel insignificant about yourself because of what you're seeing and what they're portraying. See, when you love the people that you say you love, you spend time with them. That's one of the reasons why God had to shut this whole world down. Because some of you weren't spending time with God. You love God, but you wasn't spending time with God. And see, in order to show that you love someone, you got to spend some time with them. It's like a man dating a woman and courting a woman. When a man wants a woman, he spends time with her. He takes the time to get to know her. When a woman loves a man, she makes herself available so that he can spend time with her. See, a man don't really care about you if the first thing that he want to do is sleep with you, because he's sexually and physically attracted to you, but that don't mean that he love you. See, a lot of people right now are in relationships because the sex was good, but there was no love. There was no love. And see, a lot of men who have multiple baby mamas and women who have multiple baby daddies, you got families spread apart. Families here, families there, families there. Somebody's going to suffer. There's going to be lack somewhere. And see, right now, my son, I don't want my son's anger and frustration for the lack of what his father's not doing and the lack of not having a positive male role model on a consistent basis. Not popping in and out. Not popping in and out. Not today I feel like being a daddy and I ain't going to be a daddy no more for the next 3 months. I have a problem with that. And see, I can't teach my son how to be a man. I can educate him on the responsibility of being accountable for your actions. I can teach my son about being accountable for himself. I can teach my son the accountability of maintaining a household. I can teach my son the power of supporting his community. I can teach my son the education of economics. I can teach my son the power in politics, but I cannot teach my son the power it is in being a man. Only a man can teach another man how to be a man. I can teach my son how to treat a woman. So when he gets his wife, he's going to cover her and protect her. But see, if my son's angry right now, he'll lash out on his woman. See, that's why a lot of these domestic violence and these issues are so prevalent and so high in our community. Because see, the Bible talks about you spare the rod, you spoil the child. See, some of us, we didn't want to whoop our kids because we didn't want to raise our kids like our mamas raised us. But truth be told, our parents raised us the best way that they could and the best way that they knew how. No, it may not have always been the best decision to whoop me with a stitching cord. No, that wasn't smart, mama. It wasn't the best decision to beat me with a wire hanger. Come on, mother dearest. No, that wasn't the best way to do it. But at the end of the day, this is all they knew. So then I have to ask myself, do I really want his father to teach him what he know? Because he don't know. See, I had to make a decision. I can't keep pushing the envelope for something that somebody doesn't even acquire. They don't have what it takes to teach what he needs because they don't have it. It's like a woman trying to teach a girl how to be a mother or how to be a woman, but you haven't mastered it yet. It's hard for a father to teach a son how to be a man when he hasn't learned about his manhood yet. He's still chasing after vagina. He's still in the streets. He ain't got stable. So it's hard for another man to teach a boy how to be a man if he hasn't learned yet. So I'm always conscientious about who I want to mentor my child, because you got to be stable and grounded on who you are. Because see, there are a lot of men that are jealous of other men because of how they're maintaining their household. If let's be real, 100. You listening to I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about how bad do you love them? Because at the end of the day, what is love? Love isn't proud. Love isn't puffed up. Love doesn't remember wrongdoings. Once you figure out what love is, then you can determine how you're going to love somebody. But see, when you don't know what love is, it's hard for you to love something or someone. That's why when people got that check, they didn't know what to do with it. They didn't know what to do with it. They don't even know that it's crazy, because here it is. You have some money. And I talked about this yesterday, and I really, if you didn't go watch it yesterday, I really hope you go watch it. I'm talking about how bad do you love them. See, the people that were marching out in Lansing, they don't love themselves. Because if they love themselves, they wouldn't put themselves in a position to harm their families, because you out here with masks, but you got AK-47s, because you got hate in your heart. And truth be told, a lot of y'all got hate and envy and jealousy in your heart, and God can't bless you until you address that part. I can see right through the friendship. I can see right through the fake smile. Will I participate in the foolery? Yeah, I'm gonna participate, because I want to see how long you gonna be on this facade. And see, what I don't understand is, how can people sit around and talk about somebody who's trying to do good in the world, who's trying to give their all and their best, and instead of supporting those people and those individuals, we want to look at them as if they trying to be better than the next person. This is because you hate yourself and you hate your community. See, when you first fell in love, you fell in love with things that made you feel good, things that appeased to your heart and your spirit. It wasn't the fact that you wanted to get high, or you wanted to scheme or scam, or you wanted to do things out of habit. It's because when you fell in love with certain things or certain people, you started picking up on those habits. I never forget. I didn't even smoke Black and Milds. But because my son's father smoked Black and Milds, here I am sitting on the porch with a Black and Mild in my mouth. What am I doing? But because you start loving somebody, you start picking up on their habits. That's why you got to be strong as an individual and know the difference between, is this conducive to my life and my future? I never forget my son's father, his cousin called my mama. She called my mama and told my mama, your daughter is at such and such's house, sitting on the porch with a Black and Mild in her mouth. This is not your daughter, and you need to go get your child. But see, because my mama was angry that I had become a teenage mother, she couldn't see past the issue for the need. When I became a mother at 17, I had my son July 1st, 2003. I had just graduated from high school. They wanted to kick me out of McKenzie. They formulated a committee. They were trying to send me to Catholic Ferguson. And I said, oh, no, you're not going to do it. You ain't going to do it. I had been a scholar all the way up until that point. And so many people were dependent upon my success once I graduated and matriculated through college and school. And see, sometimes people are dependent upon your future. What you're going to do affects the family, which is one of the reasons why I was always pulling. Come on, guys. With my dad, he may not have been the best dad, and he grew up abusing my mother, which is one of the reasons why I have a problem with men who disrespect women. I have a problem with men who think that it is okay to call us Black women bitches and hoes. And I have a problem when you get on Facebook and Instagram and want to talk about your baby mama, but you slept with her and you had a baby with her. Didn't nobody tell you to lay down with her? I have a problem when my son's father has more time on his hands to sit around at a table and discuss me instead of talking about the relationship that you're missing with your child. You're discussing me when you should be talking about what you need to do for your sons. But see, you ain't gonna talk about that part because you want to take the pressure off of you and put the pressure on me. It ain't fair. And to every single mother out there who has to raise their children on their own, and every single father out there that is doing the best that they can to raise their children on their own, that other party should be ashamed of themselves. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because I know they family watching. They got fake pages. I don't care because you ain't got a heaven and hell to put me in. And I'm going to speak straight facts. Because, see, people want you to believe this fairy tale world that we're living in. And we are all having issues in our household. Prison got my father. Prison got my brothers. Prison got my uncles. And I'll be damned if prison get my son. Cause he having issues that I can't help him with right now. Right now, he's in a season where I know I need a man around. See, I'm not no woman talking about, I don't need no man. No, honey, I need and I want one. Okay? The one I had, I thought he was right, but he wasn't, because he was self-righteous. He couldn't get beyond his own self. And see, some of our men are so prideful and so arrogant. You won't go to the doctor when your wife is telling you, honey, you need to go to the doctor. And then when you laid up in the hospital, now you want to listen to the woman who's covering your household and your heart. This is why the family dynamic is so important. When you know how you're supposed to be treated, you treat people accordingly. How bad do you love them? How bad do you love them for real? This is why it's so important for those people that are out here with no mask on and no gloves on. You have the propensity to take this virus back to your home. But you saying you love your family, you love yourself, but yet you're jeopardizing your own life and your family's life just to run to the store to get a backwood or a drink or to ride around. And you mean to tell me that you say you love your family, you love your wife, you love your children, you love the people in your household, but you won't wear a mask and gloves to protect you so that you can protect them? It gets to a point where you can only teach somebody so much. The saying says you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink. This is one of the reasons why our culture is so uneducated and miseducated. We got people over here spewing this information. We got people over here spewing this information. We got people over here want to march. We got people over here want to protest. We need to get in alignment as a people. But you can't get an alignment as a people until you get an alignment with yourself first, alignment with your family first, and then you can go and help the people. There are some decisions that I had to make that my sisters, they didn't like the decisions that I made, but I did what I thought I needed to do for me. And yet in the long run, it might have hurt you, and I had to apologize for that. I had to be accountable for my actions. I had to be accountable for the things that I've said, the things that I've done. See, God knows the conversations that you've had about the people in your family. Then when they go and die, now you crying. Now you crying, but you didn't go check on granddaddy. You didn't go check on grandma. Now you crying because they gone. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but we have got to learn to get to a point to take accountability. I have an aunt right now. She's blocked on my phone because instead of being a positive role model for the family structure, you take that same energy and cause chaos amongst the family. Y'all seen the Clark Sisters movie? And at the end of the day, we all got a Denise. We all got a Karen. We all got a Dorinda. We all got a Jackie. We all got a Twinkie. And truth be told, we all got skeletons in our family, in our closets that don't nobody want to address. The uncle then molested the niece and the nephew. And the granddaddy used to beat up the grandma. But we don't want to address them problems because if we don't, we're going to keep having those generational curses. We want generational blessings, but we won't address the generational curses. That don't go hand in hand. You gonna have to deal with what you don't want to deal with, because if you don't, it's gonna go to the next generation. See, if you start looking at our family dynamics, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. And see, there are times where there are gonna be some parents out there that are going to love their child so much that they don't appreciate them. Look at the wealthy. The wealthy. Their parents have given them so much. They ain't had to work for nothing. So they don't learn how to appreciate the hard work that a parent has put in. See, my son, he loves me, but he don't understand the hard work that I had to put in for us to get where we get to. He don't understand the hustle and bustle that I got to do when it's time to go pay that rent. As an entrepreneur, I got to get out here and go and get it. He don't understand the hustle and bustle that I got to face as a woman dealing with some of these scrupulous men out here in these streets that will rather scheme and scam on a woman instead of helping her. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm disappointed in the men in this community because instead of standing up for the women that you're supposed to stand up for, you watch. I don't have respect for men that sit up here and disrespect women. I don't. I have no respect for you. You can get up here and get a scholarship, a degree, but if you are not a man that's taking care of your business and your household and your family as the leader that you're supposed to be, you don't get no respect. So yet we got black men saying, respect me, respect me, respect me. But you're not doing nothing for me to respect you for. And then you got us black women, and they saying we angry, we angry, we angry, but because we got to hold it down by ourselves. There is no reason why we should be treating each other the way that we do. Them white folks that got up there in Lansing, they have a love for their country that makes them delusional. Because in their white world, this is what America should look like. This is why they don't understand the issues that we face as an African American community. They could never understand what it means to be a black woman. No matter how much you pump your lips up to look like mine. No matter how much you try to tan your skin to look like mine. You will never understand what it means to be a black woman. No matter how many white women get a black man, you will never understand what it means to have the pressure of being a black man. And see, what I need my son to understand is his power. My son is physically strong. I want him to get spiritually and mentally strong. Because in this world, as a black man, when your back is up against the wall, all you gonna have is God. You ain't gonna always have me around. And see, that's why a lot of these grown men are grown boys. Because mama's still there. Mama's still saving the day. Mama's still bailing you out. You can't stand on your own 2 feet because mama right there. You haven't walked into your manhood. Yeah, you're a man, but you haven't walked into your manhood. It's a difference. It's a difference. It's a difference between being a man and understanding your manhood. It's a difference being able to stand in a group of men and not feel intimidated by no other man. I taught my son the power of a handshake. I taught my son the power in looking another man in the eyes. As a mother, these are some of the things that I have had to do. And see, for some of you mothers who got toddlers, my son getting ready to be 17, baby. I done been through the whole woodwork, from being a newborn baby as a mother, to him being a toddler, to adolescent, to a preteen. And that preteen phase is a real dangerous phase. Between the ages of 10 and 12, you watch your baby. You watch your baby. Because he's learning about his sexual part. He's understanding now for real. Now he's starting to feel feelings that he ain't never felt before. 10 to 12 is a very, very important age. Because if you don't teach them between that 10 and 12, when they get to that 16, that 17, that 15, that 14, they're going to be confused. See, my mama didn't want to talk to me about sex when I was a teenager. So I had to learn sex from HBO. Used to watch Take 6 at night when she would go to the club with her little friends. Oh, you didn't want to teach me, so now I got to learn from the TV. How many of our kids got to learn through YouTube? They got to learn from the niggas in the streets. They got to learn from their homies who don't know just as much as they don't. Generations teaching other generations stuff that they don't even know. And then here it is. We got other generations that have been through the trials and tribulations and don't want to teach our kids. Men are the pillars of the family. Black men, you are so important. And if ain't nobody told you, I'm going to tell you. Black man, you are important. We do need you. We need you. That's why they put you in prison. They put you in prison by the boatloads because they know if we can have our black men leading our families the way that they're supposed to, a lot of our families will be solid as a rock. If our sons protected their mothers like they're supposed to, our families will be solid as a rock. But our families are weak. And because we're weak, we're looking at each other like we're the enemies instead of looking at each other as empowerment. It's only so much praying that you can do until now you got to put some action behind those prayers. Faith without works is dead. You're going to have to put some work in them prayers. You can't just take the prayer, sit it, and send it up to God and expect for him to send an email back. No, you're going to have to put some work into the prayers that you want. See, we all want to be a millionaire, billionaire, or well off or secure. First of all, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about how bad do you love them? Because the first thing is that you all have to understand is that before you are a woman, before you are a man, you are black. And this is where we mess ourselves up because we don't research who we are as a people. We have been taught all types of things about our culture from other people that's not even in our culture. How is it that we got a white teacher teaching about black history? And not to say that they're not educated on the education of the black history, because anybody can look up black history. It only is effective when you have someone that is knowledgeable about the culture from the culture. There is an unspoken language that we speak. When we walking past each other, a head nod means so much. A head nod, that means, what up, though? What's good? You straight? What's good can mean so many things. What's good mean you got enough money? What's good mean are you okay? What's good mean you ready to fight? What's good can mean so many things because we have our own cultural language and how we operate with one another. But when you take pride in who you are as a culture, we treat each other differently. Kanye West said it best. He said they taught us to love their wealth and hate ourselves. That's why Shorty's hollering where the dollar's at. That Kanye is who I love. But because life's challenges and changes cause us to become mixed emotions, we start hating ourselves. Dark skin, light skin syndrome. I've had women not like me just because of how I look. You don't even know me, but because I look a certain way, you don't like me. I had a girl last night because I put on her page and I've had to learn everybody can't have my energy. It's just some people I'm just not going to give my energy to no more. You going to get unfriended. I ain't going to block you because I want you to see this come up and I want you to see this blessing. I ain't going to block you, but I'm definitely going to unfriend you. I ain't going to block you, but I'm going to unfriend you. But she sent me a message, and what she sent me was it let me know how envious and jealous. Here it is, another black sister spewing out these things because she didn't like the fact that I put on her page. She said some ignorant stuff. This is what she said. The liquor stores aren't essential. Why do they need to have the liquor stores open? I'm glad that these people are protesting in Lansing because they need to open the economy back up. And as a black woman, that was an ignorant statement because the liquor stores are essential. The liquor store is the closest thing to a convenience store for some people in the community. The liquor stores don't just sell liquor. They sell sanitary napkins, medicine, food. And if the truth be told, some of our family members might need a shot or some liquor or a cigarette to calm their nerves. Because if they don't, they might end up killing somebody. But because we have been taught to hate each other so much, jealousy. See, people don't like people like me because I speak up against injustices. And I don't like weak women that sit around and talk about other women when we're supposed to be empowering each other. Where the empowerment at, my nigga? Where that though? And when you learn to love your culture, your level of love increases. I don't have an enemy in my brother or sister because my whole goal is to build you up, not tear you down. The white people doing it enough. Why do I need to tear you down? Why? What good is that going to do for me? What is that going to help me to tear you down? And then here it is, we will entertain conversations tearing down another sister. And this is what bothers me the most. It be the people that know you. It be the people that know your struggle. It be the people that seen you go through all the things that you've gone through and still want to put stuff on your name. They did it to Jesus. They saw him do miracles, saw him walk the earth, but still dogged him out. It's like, well, what? You can't win for losing. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. See, the reason why these people can get out there and march the way they march is because they got a different kind of love for America. With our culture, it's a love-hate. They mad because we getting checks. They want checks. But yet you're economically empowered. You aren't in the tax bracket to get the check. So you're mad. But you don't want to help us elevate to make the money. Make up your mind. You want to keep us in poverty, but then you want us to be independent. We can't lose. We can't win for losing. And it's sickening. It's sickening. And we've all played our part. See, when I was younger, we had to watch Roots. We had to watch things that taught us about our culture. It boiled my skin to see my black people hanging with a noose around their neck. They hanging from bridges just because of the color of their skin. It boiled my skin as a kid to know that here it is, these teenage kids are out here protesting against segregation. They're fighting. Here it is, a black man can't walk down the sidewalk. He got to walk in the street when the white family come past and get demeaned in front of his family. I had to watch movies where white folks would pull these black brothers out of their homes and beat them and kill them in front of their families. Our men are angry. Yes, our women, we're mad as hell. Yes, I'm angry. Because I had a baby with a man that don't understand the importance of what family means. You ain't gotta like me, ever. But does that mean that we can't come together so that we can strengthen what we created? This is one of the reasons why women can fall in love with a man who takes care of his business. This is why it's easy for a woman. That's why it's easy for a woman. And then it's hard when we find a man that has the potential and the propensity to change a woman's life. But because we've been through so many hardships and we've had to deal with so many no good Negroes who didn't know themselves, it's hard for us to even look at a man to see the potential of him, because the first sign of something that's similar, of things that we don't want to deal with, we ain't got time. I have had men want to be in a relationship with me, but they're not stable. I've dated men that wanted to spend more time with my son and don't even spend time with their own kids. I don't want to be with no man that don't spend no time with his own kids and you want to spend time with mine. That ain't how that work. And any woman or any man that's with somebody and you think it's okay for them not to be with their child, you got harm coming your way and you gonna have to deal with the wrath of God. And if you're tuning in, we're talking about how bad do you love them? How bad do you love them? Really? How bad do you really love them? Instead of focusing on outside temptations, focus on your family structure. You trying to get something that you got in your own household out here in these streets. And these streets don't mean you no good. If you got a man that's in your household trying his best to take care of his business, you need to be trying to focus on building that man up. And if that ain't the man that you going to be with, stop playing house with him. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because all you're going to do is prolong both of y'all heartbreak. And when it comes to them really having a healthy and successful relationship, they can't. I was with a man, vibe, energy, everything on point. But we can't move further because you still hung up on what your ex-wife did. We won't be able to ever get past to the next point or the next dimension of a relationship if you're still stuck on what a past hurt has done. And so many families cannot move forward because of the hurt that has not been addressed. A lot of you are dealing with hurt and anger and turmoil for your brothers and your sisters and your family members, and y'all have swept it under the rug instead of addressing it. I am a firm believer in reconciliation. And that's the problem. We love drama and entertainment. I'm one for the drama and I'm one for the entertainment. But I also want to make sure that our family structure is tight. When family structures are tight, it's hard for them to be penetrated by the enemy. See, when family structures are not tight, the enemy can come in and cause chaos, division. You got family over here, brothers and sisters that ain't talked to each other in years. Mama over here in this nursing home, grandma over here in this house by herself. Got grown grandkids, grown kids, but ain't nobody helping nobody because everybody prideful. Everybody living in their struggle in the dark, acting like everything is okay. It ain't okay. We misrepresenting ourselves. And once you learn to accept your past, once you learn to accept and take accountability for the actions that you've played in your family, that's when you can move forward with the family. For you men, if you didn't take responsibility, learn to take responsibility now. You gonna keep going and going and going and going and going. My son is at a point where he don't feel the need to have his father around. That's a dangerous area to be in. When you no longer even feel the need to even acknowledge this man as your father, that's a dangerous area to be in. And it don't have nothing to do with me no more. See, it was easy for parents to blame each other when the kid is little. Because the kid don't know no better. But when the children start growing up and seeing the parents for who they are, that now they have developed their own opinion of their family members. My son was saying some crazy stuff last night. I had to put it on Facebook. I said, oh no, I need some reinforcements. I need some backup. I want to save my son. You may be struggling with your family in secret, but I'm not about to struggle with my family in secret. We need help. And it's only so much that I can teach him as his mother. But the reinforcement is where a man comes in at. This is why the family dynamic is so important. There is checks and balances that a mother and a father bring to the table for the covering and the strength of the child. There is a reason why God made woman and man. Okay? There's a reason. There's checks and balances. And it ain't no shade to any of you who are homosexual, bisexual, just sexual, don't know what sexual preference you are right now. You back and forth. You don't even know. And because you're confused, it's going to be hard to teach the child to have a straight and narrow way. Because you confused. And you say, well, Jaja, what does my sexual orientation got to do with the love of the child? Because of your viewpoint and how you view things is going to be the way your child is going to view them. I've taught my son, you love all people. You love all people. Some of our men that are homosexual, they're not homosexual because they decided they wanted to be. Some nasty uncle, some nasty father, some nasty cousin, some nasty man decided he wanted to take advantage of a little boy's innocence. Some of these girls, they're not promiscuous. They didn't want to be a hoe. They didn't want to be a prostitute and be strung out on drugs. But because somebody didn't cover them, while mama was laying up with her man was looking at her daughter. But see, we ain't going to talk about that part because see, all we want to talk about is generational blessings. But we don't want to talk about this issue that's transpired to this issue, to this transpired to this issue. People don't wake up and decide, I want to be an alcoholic. I want to be on crack. I want to drink lean and Percocets. They're drugs, alcohol are numbing pains. You don't graduate from alcohol until you have learned that you can be independent without it. You have not mastered overcoming marijuana until you can learn that I can live without it. I can have it or I cannot have it. It doesn't dictate me. The cigarette don't dictate me. When I get up, I ain't gotta smoke a cigarette. That's when discipline comes to play. See, one of the reasons why a lot of the Western community, Chinese, Korean, Philippine, they have learned discipline. Kung Fu, martial arts. That is a disciplinary skill that causes you to become disciplined in your mind and in your spirit. This is why fasting is so important, because if you learn how to fast, you'll learn how to deal with your body and get it disciplined. One of the reasons why God accelerated my healing with this virus is because I have already learned the power and learning the core of my body. I knew something was going on with my body because I listened to my body. I don't put a bunch of junk food in my body because it's not going to help me. Putting potato chips in my body doesn't help my body to be stronger. But an apple does. And see, pride and arrogance is breaking families apart. Pride and arrogance is keeping friends from elevating one another. Pride and arrogance is a dangerous thing. That jealousy and envy, it says it in the Bible, it's as cold as the grave. It's as cruel as the grave. How you envying somebody that's trying to work to make their life better? Because you didn't take the initiative and you didn't take the... Listen, when I left college full ride scholarship. I had a scholarship to every college that I applied to. And I'm not saying it to be braggadocious. I had a plan. And every time the enemy threw a curveball at me, God lifted a standard against me, and he let me, if I had to go through the wall, climb over the wall, crawl under the wall, I was going to accomplish everything that God set out in my heart to do before I even had my child. Now, sometimes our route to success, and if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm your host, Jaja Hubbard. Make sure y'all share this video, guys. Share this video. It's nothing to share. It's nothing to just click the share button. Nothing. It won't hurt you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. But it's pride and arrogance and jealousy and envy that keeps our families apart. You're mad because I took the initiative to keep going. Perseverance is what's keeping me going. Do you know there were times that I wanted to give up? There were times that I said, this ain't gonna work. I can't do it. And at the end of the day, a lot of us, there's so many cooks in the kitchen, it spoils the pot. Everybody want to put their 2 cents in, but don't nobody want to listen. Don't nobody want to listen. There is no respect in the family structure anymore. One of the reasons why me and my sisters, one of the reasons why my mom's funeral and everything went so well and so smooth, because there was a respect that my siblings had to know that they don't have the intellect to do what needs to be done in this season. So they put the ball in my court. But because I am the oldest, I respect my siblings. I invited them into every decision that I made regarding our mother. When it came to her funeral casket, when it came to her clothes she was going to wear, we did it together. See, one of the reasons why I had a problem with my father dying is because my stepmother, she didn't communicate with his kids about what was going on with my father because of what they had going on. And see, because my father was an abusive man, and here it is, his wife, she's angry. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if and I hate to say it, I wouldn't be surprised if she got my father set up to be killed. I wouldn't be surprised if my father did kill himself. I wouldn't be surprised if my father had these demons in his closet that drove him crazy. Because at the end of the day, the enemy wants your mind. If I can get your mind, I can have everything else. Listen, the idle mind is the devil's workshop. If I can get your mind, and if I can get you to think that you're worthless, if I can get you to have low self-esteem, if I can get you to say I can't do it. This is why when you see a woman who's confident and another woman who got low self-esteem, the first thing that the woman with the low self-esteem gonna say is she thinks she all that. No, she has confidence, something you lack. But instead of saying, sister, how do you become so assertive? My sister, you're so beautiful. How do I do that? I want to, start dabbling in makeup. You're so pretty. How do I get to that point? But see, pride and arrogance won't let us do it. We'll look at each other like this. And it's funny because it's some of the women that's creating these women empowerments that got the jealousy and envy in their spirit. You leading an empowerment event, but you ain't got no power. You envious, you jealous, and she don't look like you, or she look better than you, or she look like she got herself together. And the first thing that you want to do is, snob your nose up at her. And the thing about it is that our families will never get to a point of healing until we have the conversation. Some of us don't want to have the tough conversation. We would rather avoid it altogether. There are family members who have died and gone on to glory, but because there wasn't a conversation within the family, here it is, we still hurting from 1989. We still hurting from 1994. We still hurting from 2000. We still hurting from 2003, 2015, from what one of our family members has done to us or said to us. And now we can't focus on building a strong structure within our family because we're still holding on to the hurt and the pain that was created from back then. This is why it's so important for families to communicate. When my mother passed away, when my father passed away, I asked my mother, can she take us to therapy? I told her, I said, we gonna need therapy. Nobody in our family had ever committed suicide. That was something you heard about. That was something you seen on TV when you watch some of these shows. But it was nothing that I had known up close and personal, especially as strong as my father was. But what that let me know is a person can be so strong that they're weak. I have had to be the pillar of my family for so long. I was so strong that when it came down, I I literally had a breakdown because I have been carrying so much for so long to the point where this is too much. This is too much. This is entirely too much. And now I'm overwhelmed. And now I got to back away from the family. That's why it's important for you to go check on your strong friends. That's why it's important for you to go check on the ones that's leading the family. See, you so worried and being envious on the charge and the assignment that they have as the leader of the family that you don't understand that it's important that you cover them in prayer, that you support what they got going on. But because of envy and because of strife, you can't build a strong family structure. And because of what has been said within the family and the secrets that have been kept and the lies that we have entertained, families can't be strong. And if you're tuning in, we're talking about how bad do you love them? See, I love myself so much that I wasn't willing to jeopardize going out there or going to visit my family knowing that I could possibly infect them. But you saying you love your mama, you love your daddy, you love your grandma and them, but yeah, you ain't got no mask on, no gloves. You ain't telling the young people in your family, come on, man, y'all need to be wearing y'all gloves because you don't want to be involved. We got so many I don't want to be involved people. That's the problem. We should be involved. You should be involved. It's easy for you to tell somebody, oh, you doing too much. No, you ain't doing enough. Oh, I'm doing too much. You ain't doing enough. If we would have taken care of my grandma and created that schedule like we should have, my grandmother wouldn't be sitting in Providence. I got cousins that ain't doing nothing with their life. Nothing. But sitting around getting high, smoking weed, cigarettes all day long. Got the education and got the time. But they chose not to get involved. Instead of taking accountability, okay, you was wrong for what you did. You was wrong for what you said. Let's move forward. Cousins is holding on to issues. I had to separate myself from all of that. Nope. I don't want that in my space. Because it's easy for another person to tell another person what they should be doing instead of taking accountability of ourselves. See, it's easy to throw the rock and hide your hand when you don't want to take accountability to what the part you play. I got a cousin. She's full of wealth of knowledge. But because she don't know how to use it, every time that she comes out of her mouth, it's argumentative. She want to debate. This ain't the great debate, honey. Would you take this information to the streets? Take that energy and put it into the streets. But because we don't understand our importance in the family structure, we fight each other. The little things that brought us together. Easter Sunday, despite what the issue was, we knew Easter Sunday we was going to be at Big Mama house, Auntie house, having family dinner. But because now that these little things have been taken away from us, now we understand why we took our families for granted. Was I really involved with my family like I should have been? Did I really need to do what I did to my cousin, to my sister, to my brother? Was it really worth it? And now we're at a point where we can't even communicate with our families because now we don't have a choice but to be separated. We have taken life for granted. We've taken family for granted. And it's time that we stop. It's time that we take accountability for what we need to do within our family. That's why I said I need help. But I don't want no help from no man that ain't taking care of his own family. You can't try to be a mentor to my baby and you don't even have the respect of your own kids. It ain't gonna work. You can't say you love my baby, but you ain't taking care of your babies. It won't work like that. And as a woman raising a young man, it is challenging. It is extremely difficult because now we're at a crossroad where he needs to hear from a man. We're at a crossroad right now. We're at a crossroad right now where he needs to hear from a man. He needs to hear it from a man because that's where the checks and balances lie. Women, we care for our children. We cover and we teach our children. Men give the wisdom. In other cultures, they take their sons out into the field and let them shoot the bow and arrow. Let them shoot the gun. These white men, they take their sons and they go take them in the woods and they go hunting deer and they take their sons fishing. Where we take our sons? Foot Locker? How is that going to help him as a young man to look fly? All we're teaching is how to look fly, how to get the baddest chicks, how to get money. What substance does that teach him as a man? Because what it is teaching is these are the things that you're going to have to chase, and this is what makes you a man, and it's not. It's not. Women, we can do it on our own. God made man, and man needed a partner. He needed a partner. And there are so many men whose hearts are hardened because of their relationships with their mother, the relationships with the women in their life, the relationships with the men in their life. So it's hard to create a better family structure when what you're dealing with is still hard. And this is why the black family has been broken. If we ever got to the point where there were strong families, we would be a bad culture, and they know it. They know it. They know it. When they created food stamps and welfare to replace the family, and you got to pretend like ain't no man in the household just so that the families can get help. This is why knowing your history and knowing where you come from is so important. So that way you're not bamboozled and hoodwinked to think what the white man is teaching you is accurate. This is why research is so important. This is why picking up a book. Google ain't going to tell you everything. They're going to tell you what they want you to know. We have become so dependent upon somebody else teaching us our culture instead of taking that time out to figure it out ourselves. And I'm going to go a little further. We go and we pray and we go and we pray and we go and we pray. But then we don't educate and strengthen ourselves. We deal with stuff in silence. We deal with stuff in secret. Because we don't want nobody to know that our family ain't together. We don't want nobody to know that we done lost control. Listen, the enemy tried to make me not post what I posted last night about needing help about my son. But why would I do that when I know that I need it? Some of you know you need some support and some help on some things, but because of pride and arrogance, it won't let you do it. You don't want to seem like you don't got it under control. Let me tell you something. One thing that I learned, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. If you're tuning in, you're listening to I said it. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I'm talking about how bad do you love them. While I was in rehab for 33 days away from my baby and my family, my son had to come up there and visit me because I couldn't leave. I had to beg my sister, can you please bring my son up here so I can see him? Please. Please. We do all this praying, but we got to put some action behind our families. Faith without works is dead. It's not enough for us to believe on our prayers. We're going to have to work at our prayers. My son is getting ready to be a senior in high school. I had him when I was a senior in high school. The whirlwind is coming back. It's coming back. And so I want to make sure that my son is strong when he step out into this world. When he step out into this world as a man on his own without me. I tell my son all the time, I said, there are going to be times where you ain't going to have me. I ain't going to be available. There are going to be times where you ain't going to have nobody around. Where you going to have to make a decision as a man. What is your decision going to be? This is why it's so important for men not to think with their penises and think with their mind. There's so many young boys and young men and older men still chasing behind cat. Still chasing behind cat. You ain't got no stability. You running from you. This is why everybody complaining about being in their house. Because you running from you. You don't want to deal with you. You don't want to deal with the fact that, no, you didn't take accountability for yourself. You didn't take accountability for your household. You didn't take accountability for supporting the people in your community. You didn't take accountability by exercising your right to vote. You took your money and gave it to the weed man instead of starting a business. You took your money to the liquor store instead of supporting one of your entrepreneurs. See, what you all don't realize is I reached out to my son's father when I opened up Detroit Lash Lounge. And I told him, I said, tell your other baby mama she can come in and she can have a station at my shop. And she can braid hair at my shop. This is what I told him. You know what he told me? Why would I do that? Why would I tell her to do that? So that we can bring income into our family? Regardless if you like me or not, we family. Our kids are siblings. And whether you want to believe it or not, I can help you more than you can help me. So here it is. I'm throwing a bone to build our family, but you ain't even thinking because you small-minded. Why would I help you build your business because I'm taking care of your son? And if I'm financially stable, that means our kid is financially stable. That means he ain't got to go out here and steal and kill and try to make it on his own like so many of these other little black boys are doing because they see the videos and they see the money and the bottles and the jewelry. And this is what has inspired our young black men. And so they're chasing after a video and an image that ain't even real. There are some individuals who actually got the money, who actually own the jewels, who actually own the cars and the lifestyle. But what did they have to do to get it? And do they have to always look over their shoulder to maintain it? Here it is, we're supposed to be our brother and our sister's keeper, but yet we'd rather kick them out before we bring them in. So many people gave up on my brother when his weed got laced from his own friends. His own friends laced my brother's weed. His own peers. Talk about devastated. Talk about devastated. You mean to tell me that you weren't your brother's keeper enough to cover your own quote unquote friend, your brother, the young man that you say you got love for, my baby, my brother? And you thought it was funny and cute to see his reaction from him being laced with his weed? You thought it was funny? My brother can't even carry on his lineage because he's dead. You don't understand. This is why it's important for us to know who we are. It is important for us to protect one another. See, what the devil meant for evil, God will always work it out for our good. Yes, this COVID-19 has took some people out. It has took some people all the way out. But it has also opened up a lot of eyes for a lot of people who've been walking dead. We just been walking dead. We just been walking dead. Everybody's walking, but ain't nobody woke. Everybody's got life, but ain't nobody living. I want to live abundantly. I want to live abundant. I want to live in the land of milk and honey. And if I got anything to do with it, I'm going to make sure that that happens. But I'm not going to live in secret, because if you tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and we're talking about how bad do you love him. I love my son so much that I'm willing to sacrifice being embarrassed and putting my life and my business on Facebook just so that I can reach out and get some help. My son, I love my son that much that I'm willing to let you know, listen, y'all, I taught him this, but now I need somebody to help me and teach him this. That part. I'm not about to sit up here and struggle in secret and silent. So many of us have been struggling in secret and in silence, and it's killing you, stressing. And then when we get a guy, this is why women can be so hoodwinked and bamboozled. I met a man, he looked the part. He sounded the part. But he wasn't the part at all. Because in my mind, I wanted to make him that guy. Because most women, once they get that good guy, we want to hold on to him. My ex-husband, he played the good guy role. But he was having mommy and daddy issues that projected off on our marriage, which is one of the reasons why it wasn't going to work. I'm a visionary. I'm a creator. And because I'm a visionary and because I'm a creator, I need somebody that's going to support that creativity part of me. But see, he didn't understand that because he operates on the logical side of his mind. If he ain't seeing it right in front of him, it don't exist in his world. So it's hard for two people to see eye to eye on something if we don't have the same belief system. And this is why his marriage didn't work with his next wife. And at the end of the day, this is the thing. We think the grass is greener on the other side. We think, oh, she didn't know what she was doing with him. Let me show you, honey. Let me show you. See, we got that let me show you spirit on us. Let me show this little young girl how to take care of a man. And look what happened to you. Same thing, boo-boo. Same thing. No difference. There was no difference. It's just, he just did it. It was longer. It was a longer issue for you. Didn't take me that long. We ain't about to do this. Because ain't no point in being in a marriage when you still feeling like a single parent. I was married, still feeling like a single mother. We was roommates. There wasn't no marriage. And this is why some of us don't want to be at home, because now we got to deal with what's really going on in our households. Some of you are in marriages and you are not happy. You're not happy. You're not happy. But the thing about it is do you love them? How bad do you love them? Is dependent upon how bad you're willing to work on it. How bad are you willing to work on it? See, one of the things that my ex-husband used to tell me, well, let's just get a divorce. I have a master's degree. I don't have any kids. Any woman would be happy to have me. He was right. He was right. They hunt him down because they don't see a man of that type of caliber on a regular basis. And so because you don't see a man of that caliber on a regular basis, you think he's filet mignon. You think he's filet mignon. You think he's the top notch. Yeah, he may look like filet mignon, but the taste is rough. The taste is rough. And that's why this next go round, because, I'm going to be married again. Because it's in God's will to do so. God loves marriage. God loves marriage. He honors marriage. He honors the union between a woman and a man. He honors that union. And for those of you that are homosexual and desire to get married, he honors that too. Now, he may not honor the way y'all doing it, but he still honors the marriage. But see, some people chasing marriage and chasing a Beyonce and a Jay-Z relationship when you don't even understand the strength and the power that it takes to even have a marriage like that. When you're wanted and desired all around the world, you're wanted and desired all around the world, and now you have made billionaire status and you have a bullseye on your back. That woman got to cover her man. We looking at it as an entertainment standpoint, but that woman got to cover her man in prayer, because the minute that they can get him, they'll take Jay-Z down. And if you don't believe me, look what they did to Nipsey Hussle. They'll allow our own people to take us out. That's why we got to get that jealousy and envy in check, because we will be each other's worst enemy and not even know it. My family right now dynamic is broken, and ain't no man gonna stand up and say, okay, we need to have a family meeting. I was talking to my sister the other day. I said, one of the reasons why our family fell apart is because the rock that we had, he died. When my father died, he was a rock. When my uncle died, he was a rock. So now here we are. We got two rocks that were pillars in our family that are now dead. So now we got another generation that they're going to have to rise up. My cousins that are men in my family, you're going to have to rise up. You're going to have to rise up to the occasion. And see, everybody not willing to step up to the plate. That's why I said in the beginning of this show, I had to take my family and put them on my back. I stepped up to the plate with a bat in my hand, ready to swing. And every time I got thrown a curveball, it didn't stop me. I had strike one. But I came back to the plate, strike two. And whenever I could hit the ball out of the park and have a home run, I did. But it was real unfortunate that I gotta beg my family to support my business. I gotta ask people, gotta shuck and jack. Why? Why I gotta do that? And I see people on their Facebook making statements like, people need to, you don't need no support, support yourself. How do you sound? You sound ridiculous and ignorant. Yes, we should support ourselves. Yes, you should have confidence in yourself. But why would I not look to my brother and my sister and my family to support an initiative? It's already bad enough as an entrepreneur. You're scared as hell. Because what it says is a check. This is what a check does. It looks like this. So if you fall, boom, you know you got a check. When you become an entrepreneur, that check is no longer there. Now you are creating. You're creating the stability as an entrepreneur. You're creating that consistency. And if the truth be told, if we really did what we were supposed to do by helping each other out in business, all of us would be millionaires by now. But because of envy, because of pride, because of arrogance, because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of culture, because of lack of accountability, for lack of knowing what economics means, we start spewing out ignorant stuff. It's hard for somebody to see the success on you when they have failed. See, it's hard for me to really support you because you failed at something. So because you failed at something, you're projecting that fear and that issue and that stuff on me. That's why I need a man right now to help me with my son. Because my fears are being projected on my son. I'm doing all I can to make sure my son don't have a hashtag on his back. I don't want my son with a hashtag with 6 numbers on his back because he can't control his emotions and he can't deal with what's going on in his mind. All these boys that's in prison, they didn't have nobody to talk to. They didn't have no mentor. And so because they went out to the streets taught them. The hood taught them. One of the big homies taught them. And because they saw the desire in you, they used you. And there are a lot of big homies that ain't homies at all. You ain't no big homie. Yo Gotti said it. You ain't no big homie. And see, I don't want no weirdos helping my kid. If you ain't mastered your sexuality, you can infiltrate and mess up a little boy. You still dealing with your own sexuality. You'll mess up a little boy. You dealing with your own manhood. You can't help my son if you still struggling, looking at your brother, and you a grown man looking at your brother and envying your brother. You can't help my son. You can't. If you ain't taking care of your kids, you can't be a mentor to mine. If you ain't solid in your finances, if you ain't contributing to your community, whatever shape or form, you can't teach mine. My spirit man gonna tell me who need to be around my child. And it ain't to offend anyone, because I'm grateful for whatever that I can get, but I know what God needs to produce in my child. That's just like a woman getting a mentor. My mama didn't have a problem with Miss Champion being my mentor because of what she produced. But my mama had a problem when I was hanging out with the girl down the street who mama was never at home. Because the mama that was never at home, her daughter became a hoe and was sleeping with all the boys on the block. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And see, you don't even have respect from the streets because now you known as a hoe. And it wasn't because you was trying to be. It was because you didn't have no covering at home. I'm paying attention to the warning signs of my child. And when you are a parent, that is involved with your child, there is a different aspect that you can see. There's things that my son's teachers would tell me, and I say, no. Let me find out from my son what's going on. Because this don't sound right. This don't sound like my son. Then I also understood the power of influence of my son's friends. That's why I always want to know, where they mom and daddy at? That's your friend? Why they your friend? What makes them your friend? How you know they your friend? This is why the importance of supporting our teachers in these schools. My son, he got Mr. Stewart was one of his favorite teachers at Edison Elementary, Mr. Stewart. Then at DAS, Detroit Academy of Arts and Science, Mr. Seibert and Mr. Young, the band teacher, those were my son's favorite teachers. They had an impact on my son's life. And I know that they had an impact on my son's life because here it is years later and my son still feels that same love. The question is, how bad do you love them? If you're tuning in, you're listening to, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. How bad do you love them? We got to get back to the point where we're loving each other again. And it shouldn't take a situation for us to reach out to one another. It shouldn't take somebody on their deathbed for you to have to reach out to your family and to tell them how much you love them. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. We should not have to get to the point where people are dying for you to understand the value of your own family. That shouldn't be. I remember the backyard barbecues. I remember the family reunions. We don't even get together no more until somebody died. Where did we lose? Where did we lose the family dynamic? We lost something somewhere. We got that busy chasing the bag and being in our own world that we forgot about family, the importance and the power of a family. This is why other cultures and other ethnicities and their families are so successful, because they understand the value of family. This is why you can go to the grocery store and the liquor store and the gas station and not see the man or the woman that you once saw because now their family member is in there. Because they're teaching their family the importance of economics, helping the community, Being accountable of the family. See, they had the elders in the family who made the decisions, and you dare not disrespect the leaders in the family. This is why it's hard for the young men to respect some of the older men, because they don't see you as the example. I checked into one of these Negroes on Facebook. Here it is, you got older men that have passed on to glory, and you got a video connected to it, and you got a video connected to it talking about our young men and how ruthless they are and how they should be ashamed of themselves. But you the main one that locked up half of them Negroes, Mr. Lawyer. Instead of creating seminars and workshops to help some of these young boys understand their rights and understand their memorandum rights and understand the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, we would rather point the finger and the blame and be like Kevin Hart, granddad or uncle. Look at that cat. Look, that don't make no sense. Look at that cat drinking that milk out that bowl. We would rather look and watch than teach. We would rather point the finger and the blame than to step into it. That's why people who be recording fights, you grown and you recording a fight, I ain't trying to get in that. That don't involve me, but it involved you when you picked up the phone and recorded the fight. You didn't find a reason to get into the fight, but you found it important to record it and circulate it. We have taken life for granted. We have taken families for granted. We've taken men for granted. We've taken women for granted. There is power. There is power in numbers. There is power in family structure. But we don't want to listen to nobody. I told my son, you don't know what you don't know. I want you to understand that when you walk out this household, people aren't going to treat you like your little Tayshawn. They're going to treat you because you look like a grown man. And you have other grown men that don't know themselves. So because they don't know themselves, they envious at you. Then here we got the light skin, dark skin thing. Oh, he light skin with good hair. Some of our black men went and stepped over on the other side of the race. And it ain't no shade because I love all races. Okay, I love all of you. But because you decided, I want to go over here and be with a white woman or a white man because of some of the most idiotic things. I want my kids to have good hair. When did black people have bad hair? I would love to have a little nappy afro of my own right now, but I don't, so I had to go make me a wig. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I'm going to swing it like it's my own. Next. But because we have been taught to hate ourselves, we've been taught to hate our big noses and our big lips and our coily hair. We have now become and now getting to a place where we are accepting ourselves for who we are. And really, truth be told, this very present moment is teaching us about who we are as a people. Can't get your makeup done. Can't get your lashes done. Can't get your hair done. You're going to have to deal with your little nappy-headed self, baby. You can't get your line up today, brother. You're going to have to deal and look yourself in the eye. So now it is a place of, I need to invest in a skill that's going to help me in the event that this happens again. And I'm going to tell you something, as God is my witness, if you think COVID-19 was an issue, oh, you don't think the enemy is spruing something up right now for the next go round? If you don't think for 1 second, look at history, look at the numbers, look at the pandemics, look at history. If you think for 1 second that it's going to end at COVID-19, you're wrong. It's somebody somewhere cooking up something for the next pandemic. Oh, we weren't successful with trying to overcome the race right now. Let me figure out what can we do to take over again. Because now it's going to be something else. This is why it's important for us to grow our own food. We don't even, they making fake fish, making fake vegetables. I'm trying to figure out when. I don't want nothing that's seedless that's supposed to have a seed. How am I eating something that don't have a seed in it? That don't make sense. So how was it made if it didn't have a seed? Somebody help me, because I'm trying to figure it out. Seedless is it? And I don't know about you, but I can tell and taste the difference in food back in the day in comparison to food now. They don't taste the same. And I can also tell when I'm eating something that truly came from a tree or out the ground and something that has some chemicals in it. We can't be that much of a gluttony and want something that tastes so good that we ain't even paying attention to what we're putting in our bodies. What we put in our bodies affect our mind. And what goes on in our mind affect our day-to-day living. When you don't have self-confidence, it's hard for you to manifest the ideas and the creations that God has given you because you lack confidence. And see, I don't want my son to be so physically fit that he yet lacks confidence. Girls right now, beautiful, but they don't think they're beautiful. They don't think they're beautiful because either somebody done tore them down or they're comparing their beauty to somebody else. That's why I never understood how a woman can be jealous of another woman when we dealing with the same struggle, baby. You got to snap your bra on in the back just like me. You pat your weave just like me. These brothers out here, they dealing with the same struggles as you. But because we have allowed pride and arrogance to come into our households and our families and cause division, we can't even have a real nigga conversation. Because everybody acting like they good. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm not good. And I need help. That's why I put it out there. You have not because you ask for not. You have not because you ask not. And I need help. And I need God to send me the right help. Because see, everybody's always willing to jump in. Yeah, I help. But sometimes you don't need everybody's help. It's a blessing when people say, I help you. But you can't take help from everybody. Because see, then you had a good guy and a good girl syndrome. And then you get hurt in the long run. Because you was willing to take whatever somebody could give you. That's why people are in relationships that they don't want to be in because you was just so low with confidence. You just took whatever man came your way. You took whatever woman gave you the time of day. Instead of really sitting down with yourself and God and saying, what do I want? What do I want? What do I need? Right now we are in a season where essentials are the only thing that are important to us. And the next man that I get with, now in my mind, the next man that I get with, I got to be able to quarantine with you. Are you quarantinable? Are you quarantinable? Am I going to like you when all we got to deal with is each other? Are you quarantinable? That's why it's important to become equally yoked with somebody that you like, not just love. Somebody you like. Somebody you can enjoy being just your authentic self. I want to be with somebody that he love me with my wig on and without. He ain't just caught up in this. You want to be equally yoked with somebody when your breath ain't always smelling the best. You want to be with somebody that can protect you and help you when you're sick. That can cover you in prayer, not twerk on your lap. Twerking ain't going to help you when you're lying your back in the hospital. They can twerk all they want to, but twerking ain't going, where it's going to take you? Nowhere. And some of you ladies, you so hoodwinked and bamboozled. You looking for a savior. You looking for a man to take care of you. You know, I was looking on the social media last night. People talking about $1,200 ain't no money. You ain't never dated a drug dealer. You proud of that? You proud that you had a drug dealer, baby? How did that work out for you? How did that work for you? $1,200 is some money for some people. Listen, it may not get you to the stars, but it'll get you on top of a tree. It'll get you off the ground. It'll allow you to get some things taken care of. But because we so used to stunting and fronting for one another, it's easy to say what something ain't to somebody. For those that are smart, they're going to take that money and flip that money to make more money. If you're smart, if you know better. Because most drug dealers, they take their money and they flip it. And they go make more money. So, all I'm saying is, you can't sit up here and knock somebody that's looking at this as an opportunity to get out of financial debt. And if you were smart, you would take your money and invest it in an area where you can get a return on it. But because black people are so hoodwinked and bamboozled, the first thing we want to do is go spend it. We want to go make somebody else wealthy, somebody else rich. When we got a family member who's an entrepreneur and you ain't saying, here, this $100, make it work. Listen, I'm sowing a seed into your business. I'm sowing a seed into your college fund, your education. But no, we don't want nobody to get ahead of us. We want to be the flyest person in the room. We got to get out of that, people. We got to get to a point where we have to get to a point where we love ourselves. We love our culture. We love our community. We love being involved in the economics of our culture. When we love being a part of the political process, you may not understand everything that they're talking about. Listen, I used to be sitting in meetings, didn't know what the hell they was talking about, but I was in the room. I was in the room. And I look over and ask somebody, what they talking about? What that mean? I ain't never had pride to the point where I couldn't ask somebody, listen, I don't know what they talking about. Can you explain that? What is a RFP? What do that mean? Oh, okay. So that's a proposal. Okay, got it. All right. Because our people perish because of what? Lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. If you knew better, you do better. We making all these other cultures wealthy and we have nothing. If they decide to shut down the gas station, the grocery store, everything that we need, the beauty supply, where the black beauty supply stores at? We the ones that's buying everything. I ain't never seen no Chinese people trying to buy some bundles. Have you? I ain't seen no Chinese people come in the line. When I go to the beauty supply store, you know who I see spending money? People that look like me. The Arabic girls that put in the clip-ins, you know who they get their clip-ins from? They other Arabic hairdressers. They not coming in the city getting clip-ins in their head. They sharing their money with their own people. But we too arrogant, ignorant, and prideful to say, you know what? Let me get my life in order. Let me stop hating my brother and sister. And let me really, really get behind her or him and really push this thing. Oh, all she need me to do is share this video? Done. All she need me to do is subscribe to her YouTube? Done. When we gonna get to that part? You so jealous and envious, God ain't gonna bless you because you trying to hate on me. Because let me tell you something. What God has for me is for me. And it ain't nothing you can do about it. And see, I know the power and the influence that family structure can have. You can see a successful family and you can tell that a family is blessed by the outcome of their fruit. The outcome of their fruit. My son is the way that he is because of his mother. His mother didn't have no choice but to make sure that everything she knows, he knows. He know about the hood part. He know about the political part. He know about the professional part. He know about how to make his voice heard. This is the thing. I can't teach him the confidence. He got to get that from another man. See, it's easy for me to go into a room and illuminate the room. He going to have to walk into his confidence. He going to have to walk and mentally get into his mind and in his spirit. Everything about him going to have to line up. And see, I want him to get it now before it's too late. There's men in their 40s and 50s that don't even know themselves. They are swayed and persuaded by other people's opinions of them. They still trying to live up to the expectations of mama and what daddy want and what sister want instead of focusing on what they want. And I told my son, when you run your household the way you want to. But as for me and my house, oh, we gonna serve the Lord. Oh, ain't no church. We ain't getting up going to church. But you can get up, put your phone on church, and you gonna hear the word. Oh, you don't think that it's important for you to read? Okay, well, guess what? You're going to put that phone down today and go pick up that magazine and go read that article. And then after you finish reading that article, I'm going to need you to write me a 1-page paper with a cover letter on it and tell me, what did you learn from that article? See, y'all ain't trying to get y'all kids to learn because you got them in front of YouTube and the TV, and that's what's teaching our kids. When y'all get older, what generation you think is going to take care of us? Them. When we get older, when we get in our 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, the generation now is the generation that's going to be taking care of us. So if they don't know anything, how are they going to be able to properly take care of us? There are going to be a lot of independent old people out here. So, in order for us to get to a point to genuinely show the love that we have for one another, there has to be some changes that need to be made. And the change starts with you. I'm not looking for my brothers and sisters to change. I'm not looking for them to join the paddy wagon on any of my businesses anymore. You know what I am going to work toward? Building Jaja. And once they see what I'm building, they'll come along. But I can't force it no more. And I had to learn, okay, you love your family so much that you're going to have to walk away. You're going to have to take a step back and get Jaja together. So now once you get Jaja together, they can say, okay, I see the way now. And everybody ain't going to see the way. Everybody ain't going to say, okay, she on to something. It's still going to be some stubborn folks that's going to watch from the sideline. There's still going to be some people that's going to be skeptical. And see, it's going to be real hard to get your family to believe until you get to a certain place in life. That's why when people get to a certain caliber in life and success, they are only affiliated with a certain amount of people. Beyonce probably got all kind of cousins. Jay-Z probably got all kind of cousins. Oprah got all kind of cousins. I got a cousin right now. My cousin is on Basketball Wives of LA. Got her own show now. My cousin, my cousin, my blood-related cousin. Her mama and my grandma are siblings. But she don't want nothing to do with my grandma's side of the family because when she came back to visit, they robbed her. They stole her credit cards. Instead of asking, can you teach me the way? Cuz, can you show me what you did? Can you send me to your publicist? Can you show me where I can go to some auditions? Or can you show me, what's going on out there in LA that they need that we could do here in Detroit? No, you know what they did? They stole her credit card. They went through her purse. So now, here it is. We got somebody in the industry. But we can't even connect with them because of what we done did. And then we don't take accountability for what we've done. So now here's a relationship that we can't even build for the next following generations because she don't want nothing to do with us. And it was so funny because when I asked her about her relative and she looked at me and she said, who is your mama? Who is your daddy? And I told her. And then I told her who my grandmother was. And the thing about it is here it is. I'm looking at my cousin. And my cousin can't even be happy to say we family because me telling her who I'm related to brings back the hurt and the trauma and the betrayal. So here it is. We can't even build this relationship like we should be able to, because when you look at me, you see what happened to you. And now it makes you wonder, is she going to do the same thing? So now, because of how we have treated each other, it's going to be hard for us to build each other up because of the wrongdoings that we did. And y'all going to have to take accountability of your actions. You're going to have to take accountability to the part that you have played. We have to take care of each other. And in order for our culture, our families, our men to be the pillars in the community, we are going to have to take accountability of our behavior and how we are operating with one another. All that jealousy and envy, cut it out. Time out for that. That's why we can't grow. We are divided amongst ourselves. We don't need the white man to keep destroying us when we are destroying ourselves. He don't need to help us. He can put the guns right in the community and say, watch. Let's watch and see what happens. Like we some guinea pigs and experiments. Ooh, let's drop some crack in their community and see what happens. Now we fighting over crack rocks. Ooh, let's go put some Newport 100s in a box in the community and watch them fight over cigarettes. Ooh. Ooh. Let's let this drug dealer get away with a lot of money and watch him have a whole bunch of babies and then let him make all the money. And then what we going to go do? We're going to go snatch him out the community. So now ain't nobody going to eat. Now we got to watch everybody struggle. Now the one female did not have a drug dealer baby daddy. Now she got to figure out how she going to keep up with her lifestyle because now he gone. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We don't need nobody else to help us destroy each other because we're doing it. And then we get mad because here come another young brother want to help out the community. Here go a sister that want to speak up in the community. Who she think she is. Who he think he is. Somebody that's trying to help the problem and not be a problem. But we ain't seeing that. This is why God has allowed us to get 2020 vision. This is 2020 vision. What's happening? Baby, if you ain't seeing clear, if your vision is not clear, he gonna keep working. He gonna keep working until everybody see what we need to see. If you saying I don't get it, I don't see how any good is coming out of this. I don't see how anything is coming out of this. Then you ain't seeing it yet. He gonna keep working on you until you get the revelation. It's not until we get the revelation until we can move forward. It's not until we get the revelation until we can move forward. When you ain't got no revelation, you can't understand what I'm saying. It's not until you get the revelation. I can tell you about the revelation. I can tell you about the power of manifestation. I can tell you the power of supporting your brother and your sister. But it's not until you get it and understand it, then you'll see the value in what I'm saying. There are people that are going to watch my live and say, here she go again talking. They're not going to see any value in what I'm saying because they don't understand the value in themselves. Here's going to be some people that's going to say, oh, here she go, thinking that who made her the almighty wise one? But there's the envy and the strife. And instead of saying, let me see what this girl talking about so I can at least get some nuggets, take my nuggets that I'm taking from it and go help my family. But see, pride and arrogance won't let you. And then when I make it to nationally syndicated television, it's going to be, oh, I knew Jaja. Oh, I know Jaja. Yeah, she had a show. It was called Yeah, I Said It. And she would be on it. So now that I'm on syndicated television, now you value what I'm saying. It's going to be the same message that it is now when I get there. And believe you me, there is coming. So don't wait until a person becomes the Dr. Martin Luther King. Don't wait until the person becomes the Rosa Parks to support the movement. Don't wait until they become who they are meant to be to support who they've been the whole time. The whole time I've been Jaja. The whole time I've been saying the same message. But it wasn't until you saw me with this person is when you value what I was saying. It wasn't until you saw me with that person when you value what I'm saying. And either way it go, God gonna get the glory out of it. He gonna get the glory out of it. Either way it go. So listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It. Before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. Listen, make sure you share this video, guys. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're looking for a speaker, a panelist, or a host for your event, book me. That's all I can say. Book me. Look, my schedule open. Look, my schedule open now. So, yeah, I said it. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I love y'all. I want y'all to have a great and prosperous week. And just pay attention to your family structure. Give it a little bit more of your attention. Give your family the attention that it needs. And watch how God honors that. I love y'all. Yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Peace.